What's up, everyone? It's me, Alli Simpson, and you're watching Celeb Secrets TV.
What's going on, guys? Juliet from Celeb Secrets, and I have Alli Simpson with me today. Hello.
Thanks for coming. I'm so glad to be talking to you guys.
How are you doing?
Really good. It's been a long day, but it's been really fun. I love New York City, so I'm always happy to come back here whenever I can.
What's like your favorite thing to do in New York?
I don't really have too much of a favorite thing, but I like to try and explore like cool restaurants or cool like spots to hang out for my friends that live here or some friends that have been here. But I just love this city. I just love the energy. I love that it really is the city that never sleeps. I love being here, yeah.
I know you're working on a lot these next couple weeks. I know you have music coming out. You're going to be hosting. So let's break this down. Let's start with the music first. Coming out October 6th. You got 2 songs.
Yes.
Tell us about them.
Yes, right now, October 6th is the almost settled date, which I'm so excited about. 2 songs I'm releasing. One's a slower one called I Won't Remember You Tomorrow, which is a breakup song, which I know that everybody's going to be able to relate to. I actually played it at one of my first performances last night in Coney Island, and a lot of people loved it. And it's a slow song, basically just me and the guitar, which is really nice to strip back a little bit since I grew up, you know, just being around playing guitar with my family when I was young. And then the other song is called Material Boy, which is about a material boy, which I know it's a good song. It's relatable. I know it's going to be relatable to a lot of girls my age, and it's an upbeat song that we can dance to. So I wanted to sort of show the 2 sides of music that I'm really into, you know, the stripped down side as well as I love to dance. So that's in there too. So those are the 2 songs that are coming.
And how is the process making these songs? Tell us all about it.
Yeah, Material Boy was actually one of the first songs that I've written. I've spent quite a bit of time in the studio recently writing a lot of songs and working with different writers and producers and really exploring the songwriting process. And I wrote Material Boy and I was freaking out. I was like, am I going crazy or is this song really good? You know, like I wasn't sure if it was just me being confident in the song or like, I'm like, do you guys like it? Because I really like this song, and everybody felt the same way about it, and I've been playing it for my friends and they all really love it as well. And with that one, I'm just a very emotional person, I think, and I love sharing my stories, and I feel like I have so much to write about, and that's what I sort of came across with writing music. I was like, I have so many stories to tell, especially about like relationships or boys or whatever I've been through recently, and this Material Boy was like definitely about a specific guy that I was dealing with at the time, like 2 weeks ago. I'm talking like at the time, like this just happened. But it's a relatable song, and I know a lot of girls will love it and be able to connect in some sort of way. But when it comes to writing music, I just love I love being able to have it relatable, and the creative process is always really fun. But for me, I like starting with like a concept, and I'm like, this is what I want to write about, or like this guy I want to write about, or this friend, or you know, whatever. So I'm a very lyrical person, so I like to start with words and then work with all the talented producers that can make some cool tracks with it. Yeah.
I was going to say, how do you choose what you want to write about, what concept you want to put on a song?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think it's just whenever you walk into a room with a different producer or a different writer, and you talk to them a little bit, first of all, get to know them, they get to know you, and I think whatever is going on in your life at the time, like what I've experienced in my past sessions, it's like, oh, I'm feeling this way about a guy right now. Like I just wrote a song called Anxious, and because I was like, oh, I really like this guy, and I can't stop thinking about him right now, so I should write about that, you know. Or if I'm just going through a breakup, I wanna say exactly how I'm feeling. So I think it's more of an in the moment thing for me, and I've always been a big journal writer, like growing up. So I think I just write down my thoughts all the time, but now it's like I almost can't keep track of them because I'm like, oh, this would be a good song. Like now that I'm spending more time doing that, so I'm writing things down a lot more. So I have this big like notebook that I just take into each session. I'm like, my brain's not working today, let's write about this day. Like, so I think it's just keeping track of my thoughts, and it's just whatever you feel in the moment. Or if you want to write like a woman empowerment song, or you're feeling confident, you're like, I just want to sing about like being confident and being a girl and stuff like that. So it's really fun to just explore whatever you're feeling at the time.
So inspiring, I love it.
Yeah, thank you so much, yeah.
I know you're heading to Vegas this week for the iHeartRadio festival, so tell us about that.
Yeah, so I'm in New York I leave tomorrow, back for 3 days, then to Vegas for the iHeartRadio festival. It's my first one going to. But a lot of my friends are going to be there and hosting and performing, and I'm doing some backstage stuff, some hosting, and a lot of social media activations down there, so that'll be really fun. Vegas is always a good time, and iHeart is amazing. I mean, they always are, and they always put on a good show, so I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun.
Is there like one person you really want to talk to this weekend?
Oh, that's a good question. I know there's like a lot of really good performers, but I always I get excited about seeing my friends like Noah Cyrus and my friends are doing really well on radio and stuff like that. So it's always like a big reunion at these things. Yeah.
I know you're going to be hosting the ARIAS for the Twitter live stream. Is that right?
I've been working with the ARIAS the past couple of years and working with Twitter and doing some different hosting on the carpet every now and then. But it's always a really good time to go home because the ARIAS is an Australian-based award show, and it's just a lot of like Aussie music and all the Australians coming together and supporting each other, and it's always a really good vibe and a fun time. Australians love to party and have a good time and dance, so it's at the ARIAS it's always a really fun time. So this year hopefully going back to do some more work with Twitter down there.
And how is that, like doing interviews with different celebrities, your friends? Are there any nerves going in before you do an interview?
That's a good question. I think because I had the radio show with Radio Disney for about 2 years, I spent so much time interviewing people and really big people too, whether I was like talking to Bieber or Gwen Stefani, like those are the times I like freak out a little bit more, like when it's if it's someone I look up to, like Gwen Stefani or Selena, for instance. Though I get a little bit nervous, but with my interviews, I try to make them more of a conversation rather than question, answer. Like I would rather just get to know the person on a level that people can just listen to the conversation and relate, So I think I've definitely gotten to a place with interviews where I feel just comfortable and I feel confident in my like hosting and interviewing skills now. It's like, it's really fun and I really do enjoy it. Yeah.
Like an interview fail moment or like anything like that where you're like, oh, I should have done this or I should have done that? Oh,
it was funny. I had Nick Jonas come into my show. My mum laughs. And I was a fan of the Jonas Brothers growing up, and obviously Nick Jonas was one of my biggest crushes when I was like 11.
Me too.
12. I'm sure we all crushed on Nick Jonas. And I met him when I was 12 with my brother. He had a studio session with him at the time when Cody was getting into music. And Cody's like, I know, you love Nick Jonas, you should come to the session. I freaked out, obviously. I was like, okay, so I'm gonna keep it cool. I spent like 3 weeks picking my outfit. Like, I was like 12 years old. I didn't even know how to dress or like put makeup on my face. I had no idea what I was gonna do. And then the moment Nick walked into the studio, I was like trying to be really cool, whatever. And me and my best friend both loved him, and I knew that Jasmine would freak out if I was with Nick Jonas. So I tried to take this sneaky photo of Nick and Cody talking, and the flash went off. Oh my gosh, I wanted to cry. Like it was, I don't have that many embarrassing moments in my life, but this will stick with me forever. So then Nick Jonas, Nick's coming into the studio. I'm like, I haven't seen him since then. But I'm like, it's fine. Like he probably doesn't, like how long ago was that? He probably gets that happen to him all the time. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna bring it up because I feel like this is therapy right now. I'm gonna bring it up. I'm gonna tell Nick and just laugh about it and just like as a joke or whatever. So he comes in and he's like, oh, good to see you, not nice to meet you. And I was like, where do we meet? Like trying to play act dumb, like where do we meet? Like he's like, oh, that one time at the studio with your brother. And I'm like freaking out. This is like on radio, this is like on air. I'm like trying to be like cool. I'm like, oh, okay, well I'm just gonna laugh about it, it's funny. I'm like, oh yeah. And I tried to take a photo and he's like, oh yeah, I remember. And I'm like, kidding me? Like I wanted to cry. Like this was like 2 months ago and I was like, oh, that's great, Nick. Like I'm really glad that one stuck with you because it's been sticking with me and haunting me the whole time. But I thought it was really funny and we both like laughed about it. I was like, I'm so sorry. Like I was like, you have to cut me some slack. I'm 6 years older now. Like please forget that. Move past it. So I think we're in a good place now.
I love that story.
Me and Nick are in a good place now. But I think that was the only radio instance that was like quite funny and like stuck with me. I thought it was hilarious. Like I don't know if it was a fail, but I don't know. That's my story.
And you are hosting a show with Sony Music. It's called like the Share Space or something. Yeah. It's not really interviews though, right? It's an actual show?
Yeah, it's an actual show. I'll be hosting it with Jai Waitford, who's another Australian artist, really cool guy. We've been friends for a while, working with Twitter at the ARIAS together. And we were like, we want to work together on a show. And it was actually a really organic collaboration that Sony and YouTube put together and wanted us to host it. And it's basically all about, creating and collaborating, and it's competition show, I guess. They're putting some young up and coming artists in a house together, and in the studio sessions and seeing what cool music they can come up with, what cool content they can come up with, and see who can generate the most traction and views and stuff at the same time. So it's going to be a really interesting show, and Jai and I can act as sort of mentors towards them and jump into the sessions here and there, which will be really fun, and give our input. But yeah, the show's going to be really fun, and it goes for a whole month, and it's an episode a day, so it's going to be cool.
It's exciting. And the big question, we are Celeb Secrets, so it's maybe like a secret or fun fact about you that people don't know.
This is good. I feel like every time I talk to you guys or someone from you, I'm like, oh, I'm going to keep thinking of secrets. I'm like, I'm running out of secrets. Something about me, I think I'm a really big Frank Sinatra fan. Yeah, but I don't think many people know that. Like, my family knows that. But if I'm on planes or, wanting to listen to music, just in my apartment, all day, every day, I'll just put on, a Frank Sinatra record, and just listen top to bottom. There's, 20 to 50 songs on these, deluxe albums that I buy from, Urban Outfitters, and just play them top to bottom, because it's, all the music is so beautiful and nice and, uplifting and happy that, you just listen to it just subconsciously and not know that the music's on. It just makes you feel good. So yeah, I think that's a new secret about me. I can't remember what I said last time. Probably something about I don't know. But yeah, that's my secret this time. I'm gonna start thinking about my next one.
Alli, well, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. It was so great to see you.
Thank you so much.
No problem. And you guys can check this interview out on celebsecrets.com. I'm Juliet, and we will see you next time.